going, and we are going to go live in 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Thank God you didn't understand what he just said. Who's that?
Rick Montana, the best bootmaker in town.
Okay.
Got 50 seconds left. Andrea, will you be able to tell if we go live?
Yes, I'm here. We are live.
30 seconds. What? What? $15. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our weekly Facebook Live on Texas Latino Conservatives. And the good news is, I guess, we don't have a guest today. So that means that we want to be more interactive today. So we're going to experiment a little bit. We're going to try to get you guys on as our guests. So we're going to perhaps, and I don't know because this is all new technology to us, put up a link, and hopefully that link will get you on. And you can ask questions and make comments. Of course, if you're vulgar or rude or say something inappropriate, and it's our platform, so we're going to act like Facebook and Twitter, we're going to cut you off.
Good morning, everybody. Buenos días a todos y bienvenidos a nuestro Facebook Live, TLC Live, como todos los miércoles a las 11 de la mañana más o menos. Hoy vamos a hacer un experimento. No tenemos un invitado, pero los invitados van a ser ustedes. Nuestro experimento consiste en que usted se va a la descripción de este video, arribita, donde está la descripción, hay un link. Usted le da clic al link y lo podemos traer en vivo con nosotros para que haga sus comentarios o sus preguntas. Obviamente, si usted va a tener un comentario grosero, lo vamos a quitar del aire inmediatamente, pero la idea es que podamos interactuar con ustedes. Buenos días, Orlando.
Good morning.
How are you?
Can you say all that in English?
I will say everything in English. Okay.
Let's see.
I will try.
All right.
And you correct me. Okay.
I will.
So, welcome everybody to our TLC Live, like every Wednesday at 11, so and so, más o menos. And today we don't have a guest, but our guest is you. So we're going to have an experiment. And if you go on the description on top of this live video, you can have a link. So you can find a link. You just click on the link with your phone or with your computer, and you can go live with us. And you can make your comments, ask your questions. But of course, if you're going to be rude and you're going to make any comments, inappropriate comments, we're going to take you off the air right away. But the idea is to interact with you. And this is an experiment today. Hopefully it works. The technology allows us to work with this. We've been trying to work with this a long time ago, like trying to put people on the air through the phone or through the call. But today we put a link with the technology. These days, the software allowed to bring people on the air through the link. So if you click on the link and you want to make a comment, talk to us live, so you're going to be able to do it today. So
and how's that going to work? If somebody links, are we going to be able to see them?
Yes.
So they're holding their camera?
Correct. So
the
way it works, and the producer can correct me or not, the way it works is you click on the link and you can be voice and video or only voice, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I was correct.
Yeah, but we'd rather see your
Of course, we want to see the person.
Attractive face.
Well, you have an attractive face.
No,
today.
I'm talking about our viewers.
Okay.
Which last week, sometimes I'm impressed with the numbers. We had a lot of viewers and a lot of shares and a lot of people reached.
We have 45 shares, 1,000 views, and 22 comments, and that was and I think that was because we had a cute lawyer. No? Or it was because of you?
I don't know. I mean,
Or it was.
Did you get any calls?
I don't know.
I mean,
or maybe because it was the topic, topic.
You mean you thought he was handsome?
Yeah, I mean, he's 33 years old. For me, it's like a cute. He's like a little boy. Yeah, he's young. So, but yeah, it was a hot topic. Like every day is that hot topic, immigration, since we had a new administration on January the 20th. And actually, we didn't have our show last Wednesday because we knew that everybody was watching the presidential inauguration. So we put it on Thursday, but we're back the same time on Wednesdays.
So speaking of immigration and other policies, today it was announced, I read somewhere, that the Biden administration is ceasing to lease federal lands for oil and gas exploration, which, as you know, remember I predicted that cost of fuel would rise, which it has since November. It has gone up approximately 60 to 80 cents per gallon, which is money out of your pocket. And the fact that they're not leasing any more federal lands is going to, and on top of that, the Keystone Pipeline, they put a kibosh on that. So, and it was interesting to see how the Canadians reacted. Mr. Trudeau, that good conservative up north, was very disappointed because, of course, they wanted to generate the revenue for the Canadians. So the Keystone Pipeline, being the political football, is back on hold. Apparently, we're not going to be leasing federal lands for oil and gas exploration, which is important for Texas, of course. We have a lot of offshore exploration, and I don't know how much of it is onshore. I'm not an oil and gas expert, but it hurts Texas. It hurts Texas' economy. It hurts our refineries down here because along Highway 225 here in Houston, mostly into Pasadena, because if I don't say Pasadena, our friends in Pasadena will get mad. Pasadena, Texas is where a lot of the refineries
Pasadena, Texas. Say hi to the mayor, Jeff Wagner.
Hey, Jeff. Anyway,
hi, Jeff.
So these things affect jobs, and it's going to affect our Latino community. Why? Because, let me just give you an example. Everybody's wondering why we flipped the conservatives, why the conservatives flipped Starr County, which traditionally had voted Democrat. It's a lot of the men and women down there depend on the oil and gas industry for employment. And when they started threatening that we're going to, shut down the oil and gas industry, people were genuinely frightened. And so this is what happens. Our economy is going to take a hit. You're going to have more dollars out of your pocket in terms of, paying for fuel. And I understand the whole movement of moving away towards fossil fuels and developing new sources of technology to power our world because of the carbon footprint. But you can't. Here's the problem, in my opinion. They're going to have to do it with tax credits and tax subsidies for these innovative energy companies. But eventually we run out of the public's money to subsidize.
We have somebody.
Somebody.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
somebody click on the link and we have somebody.
Let's see if we can get them in. You're our first guinea pig, so let's see if
that's
we can
awesome.
Get
I love it.
Our live guest. I don't know how this is going to work.
Let's see if we're going to be able to do it.
But we'll keep
What
talking.
did the producer say? Are we going to be able to bring the guest on?
He's working on it.
He's working on it.
So we'll keep talking. So oil and gas is going to be affected, and then and people down in South Texas are going to be affected, and then on the whole immigration issue, we're going to stop deportations, and I don't know what's going to happen with these caravans, but I've always said that we love immigration. We think a legal system, an orderly system of immigration is great for the country. Andrea and I are both immigrants. But you can't have lawlessness where people just pack up in Guatemala and Salvador and Nicaragua or wherever the heck they want to come from and just say, we're going to head up to the United States and, put all of our needs, social needs, healthcare needs in the hands of the taxpayers of the United States. No, it has to be an orderly system. I mean, we don't mind, a system of immigration, and when an immigrant is ill, that we, use our generosity to take care of them, but we want it to be an orderly system. And so those are two developments that I see in Washington. I love how the media is loving Biden. The news, the big news was his honeymoon period.
I know,
and
they're in love.
And then when they brought the dogs to the White House, that was a big story, I mean, got to hand it to the media in this country. Y'all really pick up on the really important issues happening in Washington.
I wanted you to talk about something that recently a reporter that unfortunately he misspelling he put a different name, but
okay.
A reporter from FA agency, which is from Spain, interviewed you about what is your thoughts of $15 as a minimum wage.
Yes, the minimum wage.
So what is your thoughts about it? And
Well,
many people say like, yes, this is the solution of people getting better leave and things like that. But what do you think about it? What is the consequence or the impact?
The consequence, I believe, as Milton Friedman did at the University of Chicago, the great economist, that the free market is a beautiful thing. And the free market is like, the water that rises and falls on the coast based on the tide. Mm-hmm. So you have high tide and you have low tide. So the boats float and the boats, sink. Not really, but, they lower themselves depending on the tide. So that's how the economy works. So if you're making a bottle of water, and let's say you buy this bottle of water for $1, if bless you, if the government tells you you got to pay, and by the way, the people working to make this bottle of water are making $10 an hour.
Uh-huh.
And the people that work at the plant to make this plastic bottle are also making $10 an hour. But the government comes in and says you got to pay them $15 an hour. Do you think corporations are going to absorb that cost? No, because the corporations have shareholders. Mm-hmm. That's who owns the corporation. So this bottle of water, will now cost you $1.36. Why? Because, you have the increased cost of labor.
Yeah.
So a loaf of bread, if it costs you $2 at the store, it's going to cost you $2.30. So it's a joke that Washington, D.C. plays all the time. Oh, let's increase the minimum wage. I remember during the Nixon campaign, they had this fight, and the Republicans, always oppose it. Always oppose it. No, we don't want the minimum wage. And the Democrats say, oh, we're going to give everybody a living wage of $15 an hour. Well, it's going to increase the cost of living.
Of course.
All your food is going to go up, your fuel's going to go up, you go out to a restaurant, it's going to go up. So you're not going to be any better off. The free market is a beautiful thing. It seeks its own level. So it's absolutely ridiculous. If I were Republicans, conservatives on the Hill, I would just say, okay, you want to pay somebody $40 an hour? Pay them $40 an hour. And then when you go get your loaf of bread for $10,
yeah,
that's my opinion on the economy. I mean, obviously, free markets need to be regulated. That there could be abuses. I mean, we used to have child labor in this country. Mm-hmm. Children weren't paid. There wasn't safety. I mean, I understand all that, but the government dictating an hourly rate is a little ridiculous because the cost of the products will increase, and so no one will be any better off in a few months than they were today. That's mine.
And I
That's
want to
what
remind.
I told the reporter.
Jose Luis Castillo. I want to remind everybody who just tuned with us that we're doing an experiment today. And if you go to the description on top of this video, is a link that you can click on the link. If you are on your phone or you are watching us in your computer, you just click on the link and you can be live with us and make your comments or ask your questions. This is an experiment. We haven't done this before, so we're trying. We got one phone call, but we couldn't bring the person. I don't know who was.
Yeah, sorry about that.
If that person can comment and say it was me or something, we can try to figure it out to send you the link directly. But we're trying to do this experiment because we want to really hear your voice. We want to really hear your thoughts about the situation that we're living in this country and in this world and with this pandemic and whatever you want to talk about it, whatever you want to ask questions to Orlando, that he's been in politics for 25 years and he pretty much know very well about the politics world. And so we want to really hear your voice. We want to hear your comments, your thoughts, or ask any question that Orlando can answer. Or me, if you want to ask something about what is my thoughts about like an immigrant, as an immigrant. And I just came to this country in 1997 from Colombia, and I didn't know any word in English, and I'm still working on my English. And I have my best teacher here next to me. But you know what? I mean, I came to this country to have a better life, to work for a better life. I never wanted nothing for free. From day one till I got here, I was like trying to do something not only better for myself, but to contribute to this country that even giving me so many opportunities. Now, these days, I have my family here. My parents came here. I brought them. Now, my dad is a U.S. citizen. My mom has a green card. Unfortunately, she was never able to learn English, not because she didn't want it. She was every year in classes and everything, but some people, all people is more difficult.
It's hard. My dad
It's
never
hard.
spoke English
It's hard.
very well.
So, but you know what? But she's been, she's contributing to this country regardless, and she's been following all the rules, all the law, and she's just waiting 3 more years to be 15 years with
So
a
your
green
mom
card.
is still, she has a green card.
She has a green card, so she's waiting like 2 or 3 more years she needed to be able to
So she-
take the exam in Spanish.
To be a U.S. citizen. To be
but
naturalized.
she can do it now.
Yes.
But she needs to speak English. You know the rule.
My mother became a naturalized citizen not speaking English very well.
But you know the rule. You know the law on that.
No, I don't.
Okay,
but
so if you are 65 years old,
you're exempt. You can test in Spanish, right?
no, not only 65 years old, you need to be living in this country with a green card for 15 years.
Right.
So my mom, she is 68 years old,
Right.
but she's been living in this country with a green card 13 years. So she needs 2 more years to
Right.
be able to take the test in Spanish.
Right. That's the exemption I was talking about. Right.
Yeah.
So that when
My dad already had his naturalization because he speaks English.
when they ask who was the first president of the United States, you can respond, era Jorge Washington.
Era Jorge Washington.
Yeah. So,
Okay,
yeah.
I think, let me check this comment.
By the
because,
way, that's the immigration system we like. It's
yeah,
like
okay.
Andrea,
So Chad is sending the link.
that everybody follows the rules. I mean, we're a great country. We do love immigrants. We are a country of immigrants, but we like an orderly immigration system. So, for those of us...
We have Rafa Bejar watching us.
Rafa.
Rafa, do you want to be with us?
I don't know where Rafa is. He's probably in Austin, Texas.
Rafa, if you are watching us, and I know that you're on, if you want to be with us, click on the link, and we would love to hear from you. I haven't seen him since...
Yeah, in a while.
Oh, my God, in a while.
Mr. Behad is another immigrant. He is with the Texas Public Policy Foundation. And as you know, it is a think tank in Texas, for the lack of a better word, that focuses on policies that are going to affect Texans from a conservative perspective. And he does the Hispanic outreach part of the Texas Public Policy Foundation. So maybe we can get him on, but that's what Rafa Bejar does.
Yes, he's what? Yeah. So he said yes. Okay, Rafa, click on the link and hopefully we can bring you on the air. The link is on the description on top and also in the comments. If you look for chat, he was sharing the link. So click on the link, and if you're with your phone, and hopefully we can bring you on the air. And we would love to hear from you. We would love to talk to you what is going on in the organization that you're in, and talk about education, because he has a lot to say about education.
So we'll see if we can get Rafa on. In the meantime, let me just go over what Texas Latino Conservatives is. We are a political action committee in Texas, which is called a general purpose committee. We spend money to elect conservative candidates in Texas. That's the PAC. We make political contributions. We produce TV commercials. We do phone banking. We do digital advertising on different platforms. We organize block walks in different districts throughout the state of Texas to help the candidates that we have endorsed. Last year in the 2020 election, we jumped into 24 Texas House of Representative races. We won 15 of those. We don't take full credit because everybody has to pull the wagon, but along with other PACs in the state of Texas and the candidates who did a marvelous job campaigning, we were able to come out victorious. And our victory mark was saving the Texas legislature, meaning we wanted a majority conservatives in the Texas House of Representatives, because this legislative session will start to tackle redistricting in Texas. As you know, Texas is going to gain some congressional seats based on the census data because Texas is growing, potentially gain 3 seats. So it was important that conservatives remain in charge of that process, and we were able to accomplish that. How we did it is in those 24 districts in the state of Texas that we focused on, we scored Latino voters from 0 to 99. And the closer that they got to 99, we scored them as potential conservative voters. The closer they got to 0, that meant that they were potentially liberal voters. So we didn't address, we didn't touch people that had the tendency to be liberal, but we wanted to touch the Latinos, Tejanos, Mexican Americans, Hispanics across the state of Texas that, according to our scoring system, would vote conservative. Now, these are people that have not voted traditionally. We call them low propensity voters, okay? And so they're registered to vote, but for whatever reason, the Republicans had never reached out to them. Candidates have limited resources, so they're going to go after people that are, 4-time primary voters and 4-time general election voters. That's almost a sure bet that person's going to vote on election day. We focused on what we call low propensity voters, and so but we were successful. We're still crunching the numbers, but we think we made a difference. Hopefully we'll put up some of the data when we get it. We don't want to bore you with data, but that's what we do. We focused on 69,000, almost 70,000 voters in those 24 districts, Andrea. But the state of Texas is bigger than that, and so we have well over 250,000 what we call low-propensity voters in Texas, and that's who we want to reach. We want to reach our low-propensity Latino voters, and then through our nonprofit, it's also called Texas Latino Conservatives, but it's a 501c4, which is a part of the IRS code that allows us to operate as a nonprofit, and theoretically nonpartisan, we educate the Latino community. We educate them on legislative issues. We educate them on public policy. We educate them on the process, the political process in the United States. We'll do it bilingually. We also offer some classes to young people called Leadership Latino. Our next class will be in Dallas, hopefully sometime in February, maybe early March. And we've had a lot of Leadership Latino graduates do some great things. If you go to our website, you'll see that there's a video commercial that we produced. The young lady in that video commercial is Mayra Flores. Mayra was one of our graduates down from Hidalgo County. We have Freddie Arellano. We have a lot of great folks that have gone through our program.
And this program is very important, Orlando, and I want to highlight this because the Latino community is the one that is growing the most, but we don't have a Latino representation in the government at no level.
Anywhere.
Nowhere, nowhere, at no level. So this
Especially
program,
in the media.
yeah. So this program will give you the opportunity to whoever is watching us right now, or to whoever you think that is not watching us, but to whoever you think that you know, a family or relative or a friend that you think has that enthusiasm and has that
Las ganas.
heart, las ganas to participate, to run for an office, but doesn't know how. So we teach you guys and we help you to the know-how. So we drive you, guide you from the bottom, from the scratch, from the moment that you go and register for this position till how to raise funds, to manage the media, to the law, because there's a lot of law involved, you know. It's a lot of law involved when it comes to raise money and when it comes to approach the people or campaigning and all of those things that people sometimes are like, okay, you know, I want to do that. I want to participate. I want to be the voice for my community, but I just don't know how or where to start.
Right, and speaking of the law, I mean those laws are written into the election code of the state of Texas, which were passed by and amended constantly by the Texas legislature, and they're administered through what's called the Ethics Commission of the state of Texas. So when candidates violate campaign laws, somebody will file a complaint against them, and it's heard through an administrative process through the Texas Ethics Commission. You know, but that shouldn't discourage people from running for office, and that's what we're here for. We're a resource to help Latinos who want to organize their community, that want to run for office, that want to create a political action committee, that want to be a precinct chair, that want to become a campaign manager, that want to become leaders in your community. That's what we're here for. Use us as a resource. We're very accessible. We put our phone numbers out. We put our emails out. We offer the classes, and so continue to use us as a resource. And our graduates and the people that have been through our program have done fabulous things. I mean, extremely proud of them. And we're making a difference in the electoral process. I mean, we're hitting what we call low propensity Latino voters and encouraging them to vote their values. We never really promote a party, even though everybody knows that I'm a Republican and most conservatives are Republicans. But we ask our community to vote their values. Mm-hmm. That's all we're asking. Have your values reflected in the candidates that you support. And if you do that, Texas is going to continue to be a great entrepreneurial, freedom-loving state. We don't have to worry about that. So our job is to engage, to motivate, and encourage the Latino community to participate. We have a tendency, as Latinos, not to participate in the political process as much as if we could participate, Andrea, at the level that the African American community participates in politics,
I know
it would be awesome. So, but we have a lot of problems to address. I mean, just look at the city of Houston, and any urban education system, public education system, is a disaster in Texas. It's unfortunate, I have to say that, and it's very disappointing that our legislature hasn't really done what is necessary to fix once and for all the disaster which is Texas public education in urban areas. They're great rural schools, and their school districts are loved by the constituents and taxpayers. But I can't imagine that, a child or a parent, a taxpayer from a low-income neighborhood that continues to go to a failing school in Texas can be happy with that. What kind of a future is that for your child? And we as taxpayers are getting ripped off in the urban area. They estimate that 40% of the young Latinos that entered the freshman class at the Houston Independent School District, the third largest district in the United States, will not graduate. So our dropout rate is abysmal in the Latino community. But even if they do go, they're attending failing schools. And, I think the parent ought to be able to decide. They ought to be able to decide whether they want to send their child to a high-performing public school, a charter school, a private school.
Private.
Empower the parents. And, the left doesn't want that. The government wants to decide for you where your child's educated and how they're educated. And they also pick winners and losers. So if you live in an affluent area of Houston, your child's going to go to a better school. And if you're poor, low income, blue collar, hardworking, mom and dad are not home, your child is going to be relegated to a failing school. We have several of them in the Houston Independent School District. Well, we need good parents to get involved, to run for the school board. I'd love to see a lot of parents run for school board, not bureaucrats, who are constantly indicted and arrested for squandering the public's money. So that's what we do. I would be remiss if I didn't tell you folks that we rely on the generosity of our viewers and members at the Texas Latino Conservatives. So if you feel that you want to continue to see what we're doing in Texas, make a contribution. You can go to our website, texaslatinoconservatives.com, and I think there's a tab for donation.
Become a member first.
Yeah,
Become a
join
member.
us, and we'll send you the newsletter, and if we have T-shirts, we'll mail you a T-shirt. And before.
But it shouldn't be like because you get something. I think it's because you're contributing to the cause.
Yeah.
So I think it's $35 a year. That's it. It's the only thing that we ask to become a member. $35 a year. If you want to contribute more, that will more than welcome. But if you're not in the capacity to contribute more, I think $35 and then just contributing to the cause.
And if you can give more, that's great. We would appreciate it. I've been traveling quite a bit. Now this year I'm going to be focused on spreading the message of the Texas Latino Conservatives across the state. So let me tell you, I've been to Victoria County. I've been to Madison County. I've been to Fort Bend County. I've been to Collin County. I've been to Dallas County. I was recently invited to go to Walker County. We will hit El Paso County. We're going to hit the counties down on the border. And so what I do is I talk to the party chairs in the Republican Party, encourage them to reach out to young Latinos in their communities and recruit people to either be precinct chairs, members of the executive committee, the SREC, to make them leaders in the Republican Party, and then find candidates to run for office and get behind them. At one point, Republicans always said, we know the Latino community is growing and we need more of them in the party. Mm-hmm. And it was a dream and it was a vision. Now it's a reality. We don't have time to wait anymore.
No. We're here.
It's all hands on deck. Everybody roll up your sleeves and talk to the Latino community. Explain why we as a party in Texas reflect their values. But you got to get to know them. You got to go into the neighborhoods. You got to go to the churches. You got to show up, and be there.
Okay, I want to say hi to Matt Sauceda. He's asking us, do you have any meetings we can attend?
Yeah.
So, Matt, that's a very, very good question, because before this crazy pandemic, this crazy pandemic, we used to have meetings every month, Plática and Politics. We used to call the event Plática and Politics. We were getting together at different restaurants and inviting all the members, and we always announce this on our Facebook Live. Unfortunately, because of this pandemic, we were trying to do it last year after a couple of months, and we couldn't, and now we're back on pretty much on the same situation that we were facing last year at the beginning. A lot of cases. So we don't want, we don't want people to get sick or anything because they're gathering in these kind of events. But for sure, if you visit our website, texaslatinoconservatives.com, Matt Sauceda, please visit our webpage, texaslatinoconservatives.com. You're going to find more information, and we're constantly posting any events in case that we're going to be able to do it.
Plus, Matt, I'm getting out, so, I guess we should start posting the counties that I'm going to be in.
Yes,
so,
I think we should, because, I don't know where Matt is right now. I mean, he's in Houston or where he is.
Yeah.
But if you're traveling to different counties, and whoever is watching us right now, it's close to that county or in that county, he can go and talk to you.
Yeah, and as Andrea said, we were having our monthly meetings and they were going great. We were having increasing crowds attend, and it was, it was great. And we'd always have a speaker, and but unfortunately the pandemic hit. And as Andrea said, we don't want to risk anyone's health. So, but I think in just looking at the statistics with respect to COVID-19, I think we really peaked. Mm-hmm. Maybe a week ago, I've been following a gentleman here in Houston who actually ran for mayor, and he's quite good about delving into the data. Bill's retired, and he puts out a newsletter every week or every 10 days and keeps us up to date on the COVID statistics, hospitalizations, ICU utilization. And so what I'm starting to hear is, we're really, 1 in 13 Americans have been infected or have been exposed to it. And so, we're getting to the point where we have the herd immunity, and so hopefully the numbers will start declining. And as we move out of winter and more people go out into, doing outdoor activities, I think we'll have less indoor concentration. So that'll help. So we're hoping that by the end of the first quarter of this year, we will resume our Plática and Politics, and we'll put those on our website so you can attend. But
Matt is in Fort Bend County. Are you planning to go
I was
in Fort Bend County soon?
I was in Fort Bend County and
when?
visiting, last week or the week before. I visited
Okay, so
with
we need to start posting that on Facebook and our webpage.
Are you telling me what to do again?
I'm telling you what to do. I'm telling you what to do. Yeah, Matt, you see, you miss Orlando because we didn't post it.
Matt, we need somebody in Fort Benton County to help us organize.
Yeah. What? Reach out to us, Matt. And if you know what, Matt, I will encourage you, if you want to be with us right now and talk to us and ask questions, why you don't click on the link?
That's not working.
It's not working?
Well,
maybe. Who knows?
Click on the link.
Click on the link.
Try.
Let's try.
Yeah.
Click on the link. And we can put you on the air with us, and you can ask more questions. And we want to really meet you and get to know you better.
Yeah, this is.
So let's try it.
It's an experiment.
Let's see if
We're trying to get the technology to work. We'd like to see your faces and be able to sort of interact with you a little bit, but we're experimenting. So anyway, that's about all I've got. You have any news you want to share with us?
Okay, our producer said like a 50-50 that it will work.
50-50.
50-50. So, but the only way to know if it'll work is one of you guys try.
I'm not sure I like those
Should
odds.
I try? Should I try myself?
No, you shouldn't try yourself.
No, I should not try myself.
So,
okay.
Yeah, if you're watching us, click on the link and
click on the link, yeah.
see if we can get you on the air.
I want to share, talking about COVID-19 and the vaccines, and I want to share with you guys, my parents got the vaccines yesterday, both of them.
Moderna or Pfizer?
Good question. I need to ask them. I don't know.
They should have waited for the Johnson & Johnson, which is one shot.
Well, my dad is 75 years old.
Yeah.
My mom is 68. And
I'm not far behind.
No, I know. You're just right there in the border. But my dad, as you know, but many people don't know, as you know, 2019, he had 2 heart attacks, open heart surgery, and then last year, another heart attack and another, not open heart surgery, but he got...
Stented.
Yeah. Stinted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that one. Mm-hmm. Thank God he's doing much better.
He looks great.
He looks great, but sometimes you look great outside, but inside you're a little bit messed up. So my poor dad, we're being going through a lot with him, but thank God he's a very strong man. You know him. He's a very fun, and we were with him this weekend.
Yep.
Eating Cuban food. Orlando was cooking Cuban food. You make frijoles negros.
Yeah.
Picadillo.
Yes.
Okay, I was cooking and he was directing. But my kids love it.
Yes.
My kids' friends love it.
Did you guys finish the beans I made?
I leave it at dente. It was so good.
Did you finish them?
Oh, I still have a little bit.
Okay.
I still have a little bit. But it was really good. So, Orlando, I was impressed that you put together. I mean, even you good direction.
I'm a good cook.
Yeah, well, I need to really see you in the kitchen. But in my kitchen, nobody comes. So I was like cooking everything, but you were directing. But yeah, my dad looks good. But they took the vaccine yesterday. I need to check on them after we finish the live, if they got any symptoms, any fever, or because some people have been saying that they have, sometimes they feel like weak a little bit, or have some symptoms. Some people, they say that they don't have anything after the vaccine.
All right. Well, I don't have much more to talk about other than, again, encourage you to go to our website, TexasLatinoConservatives.com. Join us, attend some of the meetings, look at the calendar. If you know that I'm going to be in your county in Texas, come by and say hello. If you want to be more involved in the political process, get a hold of us. We'll happy to answer any of your questions. You know, I had lunch earlier in the week with a young man here in Harris County who wants to run for office, and we've been emailing back and forth, and I've been giving him some advice and some suggestions. So that's exactly what I like to do, and that's exactly what we do. So
And stay tuned for our Facebook announcement because we're going to have a big guest next Wednesday.
we are.
Yes?
Okay.
Remember?
Yeah.
I told you?
Oh, no, I don't remember. But anyway.
The one that you suggest.
Oh, did he finally agree?
Yes.
Okay, we're not going to reveal that today. So it's
Yeah,
on-
we're not going to say, but just stay tuned
what-
because this is big. The guest that we're going to have next Wednesday.
Yeah, and you know, unfortunately, this is showing my age. I didn't know who he was until my nephew, who's much younger, and his neighbor pointed it out. But he's like a rock star.
I know. He's a big personality.
So we want to hear from him. You know, not pigeonhole him, but I'm excited that he has agreed.
Yeah,
and,
I
we
was
look forward to-
insisting, and I was like every day sending message like, please, check, hello, check our page, tell me about it. And we were supposed to have him today, but he couldn't because he has another things to do. But he agreed to be with us next Wednesday.
And we were also going to have the executive director of the Bexar County Republican Party, Michael Zuniga, but Michael couldn't make it. And so maybe we'll move Michael to 2 weeks from now.
Yes, 2 weeks from
and
now.
find out what's going on from our friends to the west on I-10. We'll talk a little bit about the Rockets and how often we beat the San Antonio Spurs. But we'll talk about politics in San Antonio, which is a tough nut to crack. But I think we're going to do good things in San Antonio. So we may have Michael on the program in 2 weeks. And so a lot of good things are coming. Stay tuned to our Facebook page. We'll make an announcement about our guest next week. Again, go by and visit us. If you can afford to make a donation to this organization, we would certainly appreciate it. We rely completely on the generosity of Texans who value Texas values, who want to keep Texas the way it is, who want to make sure that Texas doesn't become California or Colorado or even my second loved state, Montana. You know, they call Bozeman now Bose Angeles. Anyway, so stay safe and stay in touch.
Nos
Andrea,
vemos.
I'll give you the last word.
Nos vemos el próximo miércoles y manténgase súper pendiente de el anuncio que vamos a tener en Facebook de nuestro invitado el próximo miércoles porque de verdad que es una súper personalidad y queremos pues hablar con él y conocer su historia y que ustedes también lo conozcan. Seguramente muchos de ustedes ya lo conocen, no podemos decir el nombre ahorita mismo, pero apenas tengamos el post, la foto y todo esto, los vamos a poner. Pero esté súper pendiente de nuestro Facebook y los anuncios que tenemos. Y también Orlando está comprometido en anunciar y también poner en la página web y en nuestras redes sociales en cuáles de los condados él va a estar para que usted pueda ir en caso de que esté cerca o viva en ese condado. Así que nos vemos el próximo miércoles en Facebook Live, TLC Live, a las 11 de la mañana más o menos. Y nos vemos pronto. Y recuerda ir siempre a la página web de texlatinoconservatives.com.
Cuídense.